So at a certain point towards the beginning of this year, it dawned on me that every experience I'd had of deep connection, of deep feeling, and it's such a horrible phrase because it's like, my feeling's deeper than yours, but it's like deep feeling of feeling connected to life, connected to other people, connected to my own wisdom. Every experience that I could think of where I just knew what to do had come in a very settled down place. Now, I might have been busy, but in the midst of that busyness, I'd have a moment. I just have a moment of quiet. It would just go quiet in my head for a minute, and boom, everything would shift. And I started to see, that's just how it works, right? When our thinking settles down, now I'd use this as a metaphor even, right? The snow globe, you shake a snow globe and it's like agitating your thinking, and then if you let it sit, it settles down and you can see clearly through the globe, and as a metaphor for the mind. But I don't think I'd seen that the snow globe itself could settle down, if that makes any sense at all. So like imagine, I know, this isn't making any sense. It's all right, we're gonna just stick with it though. Right, so imagine that you've got this snow globe, and and it settles down, and this is great. But you're inside a snow globe, right? And that snow globe is all shaken up. Now that snow globe settles down, and suddenly there's this other you looking through that snow globe, seeing the you who is in the snow globe, seeing the you who's in the snow globe, and that you is like, this is great. But then it turns out that you is inside a snow globe that's all shook up. And behind that one, there's another you. And when that snow globe settles down, that you can see through that snow globe. It's snow globes all the way down, right? Well, I suddenly saw settling down, I'd seen it as an activity, as kind of a practice. You just need to settle down. Yeah, true. We all know that, right? That's even like if you're trying to stop a fight, right? Settle down, right? Right, we know that. That's not deep. But what I hadn't seen was that what I was experiencing as apathy and because it was just so different to my normal feeling state, actually was the beginning of settling down at another level. It was the system settling down, as opposed to just me settling my thinking down. And it's such an extraordinarily simple thing. Like, that's what happens. If you've had an experience with this work, because I know some of you, how many of you have done sort of this kind of work for a little while, right? And how many of you have had an experience of that deeper settling down? Most of you. If you've had that experience, and you don't have to have done this work, you might just have had in your life an experience of peace that wasn't just, okay, I've calmed down, it was peace, right? That's that settled down place. That's the space of mind. That's the space where miracles happen for everyone. And most of us touch that space every now and again, right? We like it. It's lovely. Yeah, when I've got time, I'm going to do some more of that. I've got a holiday planned later. I'll try and chill out then, right? We have it as this little mini interruption in our lives. This well, that'd be nice. Maybe when I retire, maybe when the kids are older. Let me go on a retreat so I can take the time. And look, that's a good idea. But I don't think that most people recognize that that's always available. I don't think, certainly was true for me, but I don't think most people recognize you can have that now because it's here. Right? That settled down space it is the ground we're walking on. So we're jumping around in our heads, and our heads are jumping around inside their heads, and those heads are jumping around inside their heads. But underneath it all is solid ground. And that ground of being, it's the same ground for all of us. Now, we build structures on that ground called conceptual frameworks, good ideas, maps, theories, forms. And we try and walk around on those. But if we don't realize that there's solid ground underneath them that's always available, we're always going to feel a little bit insecure. We're always going to feel a little bit unstable because we can kind of tell, even if we really, really, really believe it, it's not solid. Right? It's like one of the things I love about gravity is it doesn't care. Right? It doesn't care if you believe in it or not. You don't float if you don't believe in gravity. You don't get punished for not believing in gravity. You don't get rewarded for believing in gravity. Gravity is. You can take it into account or not. It doesn't care. Right? Well, for me, this ground of being, this universal mind is the language I tend to use around it, this deeper mind. It just is. It doesn't care if you pay any attention to it or not. It's going to hold you up. It doesn't care if you believe in it or not. It is the very ground on which you walk. It is the very space out of which your experience of life unfolds.